It's 18:35. Welcome to another episode of Property Focus Radio Program brought to you courtesy of Horizon Properties. And of course, I'm your host, Nono Zaza. Now, tonight on the show, we are focusing more on the marketing side of Horizon Properties. But before we get into tonight's business, here's a call out to clients and, of course, different category of clients, people who've done business with Horizon Properties or are still doing business with Horizon Properties. Now, clients who are offered but have not come forward to execute contracts of sales, clients who have finished paying and executed contracts of sales but have not come forward to proceed with the transfer of rights or change of ownership, clients who have proceeded with a change of ownership but certain documents are missing, for example, NRC copies, clients who have finished paying and submitted all relevant documents but have not received their titles, as well as clients who for one reason or the other are not getting the expected feedback. Now, what you need to do is contact, text, or send a WhatsApp to this number 097 9685 892 097 9685 892. Now, to help me with today's program, I am joined by Mbewe Adrian, who is Sales and Farmland Coordinator, Listings Coordinator from Horizon Properties. Mr. Mbewe, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Nono, and good evening to the listeners.
Now, Adrian, before we get into tonight's business, could you give us a recap of what last week's program was all about?
Okay, so last week's program, of course, was mainly centered on Horizon Properties as the market leader. And then during the program, of course, we got to talk about the impact that Horizon Properties has on the property market in general, where I actually got to highlight a number of successes that we've recorded as Horizon Properties, of which one of them was Doctor's a presentation on some TV station where he strongly advocated against the increase of property transfer tax and went ahead to make some submissions to ZRA, of course, against the increase from 5% to about 7.5%, of which this, after the submissions, we sought to say property transfer tax was not increased. And then, of course, on the show, I got to highlight a number of things that Horizon Properties has done, of which have greatly impacted the market of the property market in general. And then after that, of course, we got to discuss why it is important for you to actually get to deal with a trained agent as opposed to just any other agent. So, of course, Lutanda got to explain about the vast knowledge to handle transactions, the professionalism, and of course trained agents being of importance in the making of decisions by the buyers, and then the managed risks among others. After that, of course, we got to talk about the residential plots that we have for sale. And then, of course, Derek came in to discuss the Green Village, where he talked about the fundamentals in relation to the Horizon Green Village housing development. And then after that, of course, he talked about the services. And then we also got to talk about what we have in terms of plot sizes and prices in the Horizon Green Village. So it was a packed program. And if you missed the program last week, what you can do is either go to our Facebook page and check out for the live broadcast that we had on Tuesday last week, our Facebook page, which is Horizon Properties Limited, or you can simply go to our YouTube channel, which is Horizon Properties Limited. Then you get to listen to the program.
All right. Now, with clear examples and prices, what is your general overview of residential plots on the eastern part of Lusaka in contrast to Lusaka South plots? Now, I know that Lutanda also will join us with this question as well, but I will start with you, Adrian.
Okay, so the Great East Road.
Yes.
One of the famous parts of Lusaka currently trending because of the many developments that are currently going on. So the Great East Road development starts immediately after the airport roundabout, though they are more pronounced around waterfalls and Silverest areas, which have been undergoing massive infrastructure development as prominent people have settled there. So as you drive on the Great East Road, which leads you to the eastern part of Lusaka, you realize that as you get to waterfalls, the environment changes. You get to see a lot of development. You get to see the malls. You get to see the many things that people are building, be it houses. As you drive further, as you go to somewhere Oryx there, you realize that there's even a college on there, on the right side, although a bit off. And then it is definitely leading in the expansion of the city peripheral because of the orderliness and quality of development. Great East Road, we don't just build. You need to plan.
No, it's very true.
Yeah,
that is
there
true.
you don't just wake up and say, dig here because I want to put up, I've got 5 blocks that I want to put up. Here you don't do that. You don't do that. Here, developments are planned and they're of quality because, of course, if your neighbor is putting up a double-story building, you don't want to put up next.
It would look awkward.
It will look awkward, definitely. So you realize that Great East Road, those are planned settlements. They're not there. I don't know. I wouldn't say they've stayed away from the area, but there's where you can find them. And then the fact that there are no unplanned settlements anywhere within sight is an added advantage that makes this area desirable for investment. If you want to put up a boarding house, come to Great East Road. If you want to put up a school, come to Silverest, come to Waterfalls. You build a school there and the market is ready and available for you. And then, of course, land on Great East Road is bullish as its demand keeps increasing. Everyone wants to stay in Silverest. Everyone wants to stay in Waterfalls near Mika Convention Center. Everyone wants to stay in Waterfalls again, near Waterfalls Hotel. These sites have more like differentiated themselves from the rest. Because if you are staying there, of course, even people will regard you as someone who's prominent.
Oh,
even the status itself.
Stature,
if you stay here, definitely even the status itself, people will look at you differently as opposed to someone who stays in the malls.
That's true.
That's just a fact. And then the area has amenities, like I said, such as malls. Waterfalls Mall is there. There's Garden City there. If you drive all the way up to Silverest, there's Asado there. All those. So there are shopping malls, and then of course there are hotels. There's Waterfalls Hotel, there's Ban Motel there, and then there are hospitals, and then there's a university, there's Uniras, there's the other one which is the college for nursing there. And then of course both primary and secondary schools which are just along the road as you get to Silverest. The recreational centers such as Pazuri and the newly opened Happy Land are right on the road. Of course, you see people drive all the way from 10 miles, 17 miles. Others will come all the way from Kafue just to go and visit the Happy Land, just to have an experience, just to take their kids there. This is the part of Lusaka which you wouldn't want to miss out on if you are to invest. And then, of course, as Horizon Properties, understanding to say Lusaka is growing towards the east and looking at the quality of developments. Of course, we're people who have order and people who understand. So what we've done is we have 3 residential sites. If you want to be near Waterfalls Mall, we have something which is available for you. So this is a high-profile residential site neighboring Avondale and Meanwood Ibex on the other end. So this is only 500 meters from Mika Hotel, from the 3rd Road, which proceeds to Meanwood Housing Development from Great East Road. So right before the checkpoint, on the right, you drive on that tarmac, and then right before the entrance to Meanwood, on the right, there's a gravel road, which is only 500 meters from the tarmac, and then it gets you to our site. So the site encompasses of 20 by 30 plots, priced at 350,000 kwacha. A number of our clients are already building on site. So if you're someone who would want to do something for rental, I would want to put up a house where people can get to rent, returns in Waterfalls on this site are definitely guaranteed faster. But let's talk of rental when it goes to Waterfalls in Meanwood Ibex. How much are people paying in terms of rent? You realize that people are paying not less than 6,000 kwacha and above. True. Yeah. So if you're someone who would want to invest, you invest that much, you're definitely assured to say you get your returns faster as compared to investing in the malls. And then the second site, of course, since we understand others want to be too close to Lusaka, this has been made available for you. And then in as much as this is available, we've also put up another site, so we're calling it the second site, which is near Waterfalls Hotel. So this is about 1.7 kilometers from Great East Road, right behind Waterfalls Hotel. This is a very serene area. And then this is a secure neighborhood with beautiful developments taking place. And this is a bargain you shouldn't miss out for either investment or a place to stay. Let's talk about the plot sizes. 50 by 40 plots. You have enough space for yourself. You can build a house, you can put up an orchard, you can put up a garden, you can pave just the driveway to your house and plant grass, the remaining space. A beautiful place for you to stay. If you want to do a boarding house, this particular place, if you use the road that goes to Waterfalls Hotel, it's about 1.7 kilometers. If you want, you can get in from Silverest. From Silverest, you only drive for about 500 meters from the 3rd Road. It gets you to the site. So on that end, you can even put up boarding houses. 50 by 40, you can do about 3 to 4 boarding houses in 1 yard. And you can imagine the returns. within a year or 2 or 3, you must have gotten back the money that you may have spent. And then, of course, the price for a 40 by 50 is only 450,000 kwacha. And then, of course, the size is perfect and gives you enough room to play around with the space. And then the other site, of course, is what we are calling the Silverest Country Park, and it's 3 kilometers from Great East Road near Chow Chow. So here on this site, we have 20 by 30 plots selling for 165,000 kwacha only, which is a great bargain. Like we said, land is growing, or Lusaka is growing towards the east. So if you get here, who knows what will be there? This is near Happy Land. This is near Pazuri. We have the Horizon Green Village just there, where schools will be. There will be malls. There will be hospitals. So this is also definitely a place where you need to buy from. A plot 20 by 30 selling for only 165,000 kwacha. But I know Rudanda would want to argue with me. So I will give him enough time to come in and, of course, bring in the Lilai aspect. Because if I say, you say I stay on Great East Road. So let him bring out the facts about Lilai as
Lutanda, let's hear your point of view with regards to the southern part.
Well, quite the contrary. I'm not going to argue with the points that he's reasoned, because, I mean, how do you argue with facts? That you just don't do. However, what I will do is I will then divert attention to the southern side. That is Lilai, or better yet said as Lusaka South. So Mr. Adrian has said a lot of things concerning Silverest, talking about the schools and people diving into ventures of boarding houses. And of one notable thing that he said is actually that that Silverest is an up-and-coming Mayad, so to say. Yes, that is true. However, what the southern direction, Lusaka South, has over Silverest is that it is a matured Mayad. This one is growing up.
I wish I could give you time to explain more in detail what you're trying to say there, but go ahead.
All right. So first, before we dive into that, let's identify what Lusaka South is. Lusaka South is basically well known as Chalala, which is a colloquial term covering most parts of Lusaka South, being, of course, Chalala itself. Then we have Livala South. Then we have partly, or rather, part of Kamwala South, and predominantly Lilai. So this is what constitutes Lusaka South, and most of it has been tamed as Chalala. So with all these areas being in the southern part of Lusaka, what they have is, you find that they have shopping malls. Along Shintumbu Road, you're going to find Mr. Adrian. What shopping mall is that?
There should be Charara Mall and the PS Mall somewhere.
Yes, where you have chairs on that side, and then on the other side, the further off road, that is Lilai Road. You're going to have chairs again on another shopping center, a predominant shopping center also, and along Kasama Road. I always think of New Kasama when I'm talking about that road. Kasama Road, there's a lot of development also coming up, and you'd find they have Mana Mall and other malls, and obviously there's Zambif on your right, on your left, sorry, along that road also. So there's a lot of development that has happened in this area. And then when we talk about developed Mayad, like I said, this is now places where you find well-organized development, people with ample spaces on the yard, and that have developed these yard spaces with nice, beautiful houses, aesthetically pleasing to the sight, picturesque, if I may say. Now I'm just trying to shoot you down, Mr. Adrian. So yes, this is what you're going to find in Lusaka South. So going further then, to also center it, or rather equate it to the southern side, to the eastern side, where he says, well, we have universities, or we have colleges that have come up. We also have this in the southern direction. In Chalala, we have schools that have come up, predominantly in the border of Chalala and Lilai. We have Apex. This is a very, very big university, which is also now thinking, you know what, let's also bless the eastern side. And they're thinking of bringing up a branch also in that direction. So, again, hailing from the southern direction. Other than that, we also have another predominant, or rather a very big university, of which is Texila University. So when you're talking about advantages of building boarding houses. You have more than enough boarding houses that you could take advantage of. More than enough universities and colleges that you can take advantage of and build boarding houses for also. And then one thing that the Eastern Direction has had is a good road network. Not just any road network, but also we're talking about having a good tarred road network. And this is already something that you will find also on the Southern Direction. Chalala most of it is already tarred, and advances have actually also been picked up, and more roads are being developed also, being tarred. And then if you're talking about Lilai, just a small portion of Lilai has not been tarred. And for the most part, we're talking then would be extending our extension, or rather the peripherals of Lilai, and talking about Shantumbu. But for the most part, Lilai is tarred. So when you're comparing the two, it's very, very difficult as to say which part is better off and the like. But however, if I'm being completely honest in my job or in my work, and somebody say, well, Lutanda, do pick out a difference between the two. I would say Lilai, or rather the Lusaka South direction, or Lusaka South itself, is well developed, or rather well escalated in the level of reaching its maturity. So this means you're hardly going to find a bargain in Lilai. The market is well aware of what products are in Lilai and how much they're going for. You're going to find a 20 by 30 in Lilai going for 250. That is going to be the standard, and hardly are you going to find something cheaper unless the person that is selling it is really pressed for money. But then again, people have all sorts of ways of finding money so that they can still get back to selling the plot and still retain or rather attain what is going for on the market. But then when you go to the Eastern Direction, Mr. Adrian's Silverest area, what you'll find there is that it's an up-and-coming area. And for the most part, Silverest is divided into two areas. You talk about the right side and the left side. These two are, sorry to say this, but they're almost incomparable, as if you're talking about a totally different area. The left side of Silverest, left in the sense that you're leaving Lusaka heading towards Chongwe. Yes, then you're looking at the greatest along that direction, heading towards the east. Then we're talking about your left-hand side. This is where most of the development, or rather the extensive development that has happened along that direction, the Eastern Direction in Silverest. We'll be talking about having Unilas, it's on the left side. Most of the tarred roads, if not all of them, Mr. Adrian, I stand to be corrected. Most of the tarred roads, if not all of them, are again on the left side. Most of the predominant, or rather the creme de la creme of people, or the influential and the affluent people, live again on the left side.
Doesn't matter what side anyone wants to pick, as long as you're in the area.
But then, this location is everything, even within the location. Okay. So you'd find that, again, also in relation to proximity to Unilas, and all of these predominant, or rather the highlights of the area, affect the price. So if you look at properties that are on the left side, they tend to be higher in price compared to the properties on the right-hand side. On the right-hand side, for the most part, you're going to find prices over 20 by 30 going around 165. Crossover, same area. Crossover on the other side, the price changes to nearly double.
Is it infrastructure? What causes that?
Infrastructure for the most part. Infrastructure, because infrastructure is all-encompassing in the sense that the term is broad. What are people attracted to? They're attracted to tarred roads. That's what you're going to find on the left-hand side of Silverest. And then what are people attracted to? They're attracted to the development that tarred road has brought. So then that's where you're going to find the more beautiful houses and the more affluent people. So as a result, you're going to be buying into that location. So hopefully, of course, with time as it goes by, this is going to happen on the right also. But of course, the right also has already got its own advantages. You're going to have Ratsa, and comparing to the distance close to Unilas, you're going to have that battle to also contend with. But like I said, the two are really almost on the same trajectory, but level of development as to each reaching that cash cow stage, Lilai is already there. There's very little development that's going to happen in Lilai that's going to affect the price of plots in Ilai. But then, what's happening in Silverest? It is something that even us in the property market are really spectating at this point, because we don't have a shopping mall yet in Silverest. And then immediately a shopping mall is located.
The value goes up.
Especially for the lands that are at least 1.5 kilometers in radius to that shopping mall. So that's what we're waiting for and anticipating and trying to see. So we encourage people to buy land in Silverest right now, because the prices are not containable. They're still going up. And there's a lot that is still to happen in Silverest. So we encourage people to take advantage.
And remember to buy from Horizon Properties, because all our sites are on the left.
That is a good one. But beyond just our sites being on the left, I would say, again, we go back to people protecting the investment. We're talking about if you're getting a plot, these are substantial amounts of money. You need to take care of your investment. We always say it's not only right to just take the first step right. No, I'm going to buy a plot. That's the first step. That's the right direction to take. But then also take that step the right way. Come to people that you know will not disappoint you. Come to people that are also caring of the investment and understand how you acquired that money and how difficult it is. So we are the people that you come to get that genuine property. You do not play around with anything to do with real estate. Horizon Properties is your way to come, and of course attend to us.
All right, it's interesting examples I was getting there. Thank you, gentlemen. All right, now obviously before we break off for the headlines at 19, the public experience, the public experiences numerous challenges when buying properties, especially plots, because currently it is like everyone is selling land or plots. As market leaders, what should the public expect from you?
Okay, so first things first, buy land from the people you know. Buy land from Horizon Properties. So as you come to Horizon Properties, of course, you're going to experience an excellent customer care service and professionalism from our trained agents who have capacity to handle property transactions. When you come to Horizon Properties, it's not everyone that will get to handle a transaction. The agents are trained, they know what to do, they know what to tell you, they know what you need to know, they will tell you about the location, they'll tell you about access roads, like everything that you need to know about a property. Our agents have the capacity to handle the transaction. They will give you the information that you need. Then we have a wide range of listings, ranging from upper market to middle and lower income. So we don't just have properties in Kablonga. We don't just have properties in Ibex. We have properties everywhere to cater for everyone. So all buyers are catered for. When you come to Horizon Properties, there is no time that will tell you to say, we don't have a farm for you to buy, or we don't have a plot for you to buy. Depending on your budget and depending on your location, we're going to look for that plot or that farm for you, or that house. And then of course there's a lot of value addition that comes with our plots as Horizon Properties. Yes, everyone is selling plots, but we are different. So definitely, even our sites, when you get to our site, you will see orderliness. Like I said, we don't have unplanned settlements anywhere sold by Horizon Properties. When you get to our site, even if we had to sell plots in the middle of a compound, definitely when you get to our site, you see the orderliness. You will see the quality of structures coming up, because we are Horizon Properties. We don't just sell, but we provide the after-sale service. We'll advise you how to build. You hear Derek talking about incremental construction. We won't just tell you to rush everything that you have saved at that particular point into buying cement and everything. We'll tell you to take your time. We'll tell you to bring your plan. We're going to approve it, so that what you put out does not complicate or compromise the value of what's built near you. So when you're coming to Horizon Properties with that investment, you're definitely assured to say you're buying into a planned site. And then all our plots are genuine, planned and approved by the local authorities. So there's never a time that Horizon Properties will say you land that was meant for a market. No, that will not do. We are not going to sell you land that belongs to someone else and say, okay, fine, whatever it is that we sell is planned, due diligence has been done, and of course we have background information about who owned what and at which point did the person that, of course, you are buying from get it. And then, of course, we have provision of road access on all our sides. There is no time that you're going to buy a plot and then you have to jump a fence for you to get to your plot. We don't do that. So all our sites are planned, road access provisions are there, and of course, we'll make sure to say we clear them and they're visible enough. The big ones are seen and all that. And then we don't sell inaccessible tracts of bush as plots. Buyers are actually getting value for their money.
A beautiful development is sprouting in Silverest Extension, and it has set the whole city talking. It's the Horizon Green Village Housing Estate, situated 20 kilometers from the airport roundabout and 2.5 kilometers off Greatest Road. This eco-friendly development targets savvy Zambians who want to live in a green, clean, orderly but affordable neighborhood. As the Horizon Green Village development was launched, it became clear to everyone who was present that ambience, serenity, and class meet affordability at the Green Village. This combination is a rare gem, which is why everyone is now rushing to buy their residence at the Horizon Green Village Estate. So don't be left out. Don't wait until it's late. Make that move right now and invest in the Horizon Green Village development in Lusaka City. Call us on 0972 604 614, 0979 888 970, 0779 707 215. Horizon Green Village, an eco-friendly community.
Welcome back. You are listening to Property Focus, brought to you courtesy of Horizon Properties. Now, before we took the break, Adrian there was outlining some of the challenges people have when it comes to buying plots or selling land, as well as why they need to come to Horizon Properties and purchase the plots or the land. Go ahead, Adrian.
Okay, so like I was saying, we don't sell inaccessible tracts of bush as plots. So here what we mean is we've heard of plots or people that went to a place, say we're driven to a place, and we are shown a bush to say this is the site.
I'm familiar with that story.
Yeah. And you know, these people never got to see any access roads. You are told to say maybe your plot is about 10 kilometers inside from the road where you are, and you wonder to say, how do I get there? So at Horizon Properties, we don't do that. So you definitely get value for your money at Horizon Properties. What we are going to do is we are going to provide a provision for the access road. Because how do you tell you to say your plot is about 5 meters away from here, but you don't know where it is, and you don't know how to get there. You don't know which part has where the road should be. So that does not happen at Horizon Properties. And then, of course, all our residential plots are on title, and due diligence is conducted before they are advertised for sale. So the due diligence part is done before we actually get to list. Before I come here to talk about plots in Silverest, due diligence would have been done. And everything, the planning, everything would have been done, and the pricing. At the point of us getting to talk about a product that we are selling, meaning everything has been done and it is ready for the market. What I mean is that when it's ready for a market, when you buy, you can build. That's what happens. So at the point of selling, everything would have been done that we need to do. And then of course, having we are people that understand the impacts of climate change on the environment. We've actually embarked on turning all residential sites into sustainable development. So what's happening here is that this we actually get to encompass the planting of trees on all our sites, zero littering, installation of biodigesters for soil management. Here is where you hear Derek most of the time talk about the biodigester at the Green Village. So if you're someone that would want to deal with us, take a drive there on a Saturday when Derek is there and get to see what he talks about on the program. So what we want is that in as much as we are selling plots, in as much as we are building, the environment, the underground water should not be tampered with. The underground water should be preserved at all costs for future generations. It should not be a point whereby you buy a plot and people tell you, say they say that there's no water, you do dry boreholes. We want to avoid that. When you buy in our site, you will realize that where we are going now, there will be no issues of doing boreholes and soakaways everywhere. This is why we're introducing the biodigester. Very soon you hear that to say Horizon Properties in our site we're providing water, just like the Green Village. But when you go there, you won't be allowed to do a borehole anyhow way, soakaway. So this is what we are doing as Horizon Properties, and this is what will distinguish us. And above all, of course, we stand by the core values of the company, which are honesty, integrity, and diligence. So as you come through to deal with us, we are people who are honest, we are people who have integrity, and of course diligence. We're people who are diligent.
All right. Thanks so much, Adrian. Lutanda, let me bring you back in. A lot of people follow your adverts on different media platforms, and one wonders what hot listings you have. By the way, before we even proceed, could you educate, the layman or the public what you mean when you use the word listing?
Yes, we tend to actually forget and just dive right into it and start giving what our hot listings is and whatnot without actually describing what a hot list or rather a list is. Well, a listing is actually a catalog or list of items. Take, for instance, a brochure or portfolio of commodities. However, this is just a broad term, but when we relate it to real estate, a listing is a single commodity or a product that has been put up for sale. That the agency, in this case Horizon Properties, for instance, putting up a house, a land, anything for sale on behalf of a vendor. Somebody coming to Horizon Properties and wishing and saying, okay, Horizon Properties, put this commodity up for sale for me, or rather on my behalf, and we do that. That is a list. In that regard, I don't know if that is simple enough, or I need to broaden that explanation some more.
For me, it's simple.
All right. Okay. So then, without further ado, that means I get into the listings that we have, meaning the products that we are selling or that we have on the market as Horizon Properties, of course, on the behalf of our vendors, so to say. Well, we have a plot for sale in Makeni West. This is a 29 by 35 plot in a wall fence. It's fenced all round with a borehole, caretaker's house, and a chicken run. The plot is located about 1.8 kilometers off the tarmac and is going at only 245,000 kwacha. You're getting a plot in Makeni West with an extent of 29 by 35 in dimension. It is fenced all round, and on it is a borehole, a caretaker's house, and a chicken run. So you're getting a developed property, so to say. That is 1.8 kilometers from the tarmac, going at only 245,000 kwacha. This is in Makeni West. Then also we have a plot in Shantumbu for people who are interested in Shantumbu. A lot of people actually do come to us and ask, do you have a plot in Shantumbu? For some reason, there's a very strong attraction to Shantumbu. Also, I think it's the effect of the pricing of plots in Shantumbu. It's a very, very up-and-coming location or site in Shantumbu itself. And it has a lot of people of all classes, so to say, the middle and upper class and the lower also, depending on which area you buy into specifically in Shantumbu. So in Shantumbu, what we have is a 50 by 50 plot. This is a very good size in dimension. That's only about 1 kilometer from Shantumbu Primary School and 100 meters off Shantumbu Road. So this is something that people need to look into, as it is only going at 95,000 kwacha. 95,000 kwacha gets you a 50 by 50 plot. That is 1 kilometer from Shantumbu Primary School and 100 meters off Shantumbu Road. So this is something that especially those that are attracted to Shantumbu need to look into. Then we also have in Ngwerere. In Ngwerere we have a plot that's a 20 by 30 in dimension. On title, located in a developed area about 1 kilometer from Ngwerere Tard Road. This is a very developed site in the sense that a lot of houses have come up. In this site has also an upstairs house that has changed the value of the site itself. In the sense that already there were houses that came up, single story or ground story houses, very nice looking and very appealing to the site. But then all of a sudden, when this upstairs house came up, the value changed automatically. We have had people buy in this site and come to us and say, look, I wanted to build this structure on my plot, but because of this upstairs house that is here, I need to find something more modern, perhaps not going up, but even despite being a ground, just one-story house, I need it to be modern looking and very appealing to the site. So this is a site that is very, very developed, and people need to look into it. So in this 20 by 30 plot that is on title, of course, is going at only 145,000 kwacha. 145,000 kwacha gets you a plotting on a very developed site. So you've got everything from then looks upwards. Looking as to time, I will cut the whole listings for this week right here.
All right. Thanks so much, Lutanda. I'm now joined by Derek Katongo, who is liaison officer from the Horizon Green Village. Derek, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Non, and good evening to the listeners.
Awesome. Now, we know that Horizon Property is one of the major indigenous land and property developers in Zambia, and you have been talking about the Green Village housing development for some time now. Could you briefly tell us what is currently obtaining on the ground in line with the concept of the project?
Okay, first and foremost, Non, I would like to make mention that the concept behind the Horizon Green Village project is actually anchored on three major pillars. Mm-hmm. But however, before I dive into what we have done with respect to the pillars that are a summation of the concept behind the Horizon Green Village, I would like to make mention that whenever you are drafting a plan, you always sit down and look at what is available at the moment and what services are being provided to the public. Are they satisfied in terms of what we are supposed to do as a private sector, more especially with respect to properties? Mm-hmm. So as a company, we looked at it and we realized that we needed to do a project that would stand the test of time in terms of preservation of the environment, and also just acting as a player in terms of how would contribute to the fight against the effects of the climate change. Mm-hmm. And also at the same time, we looked at what kind of a project would we introduce that would be modern in terms of what issues are emerging across the board in terms of the communities that we're living in terms of the road networks, the proper planning, in terms of the sewer management, and also just generally of how people are living, because we need to live in terms of how is the technology advancing, how modern are our communities. And lastly, we looked at the aspect of our people affording decent shelters. Are our Zambian people satisfied with the prices of houses? Are they being accorded affordable housing? Mm-hmm. So those are the benchmarks we're looking at in terms of what kind of project we can actually bring on the Zambian market. So from that aspect, we realized that it was just time for us to come up with the Horizon Green Village. So in line with what you're trying to ask, so these three pillars that are a summation of the concept behind the Horizon Green Village: one, sustainability, modernity, as well as affordability. Okay, so we are developing this project in line with these three pillars that form the concept behind this project. So in line with sustainability, what have we achieved? What is currently obtaining on the ground? So what is obtaining on the ground? We have actually embarked on the biodigester sewer management system plans, which right now we have our people on the ground trying to come up with these points where these plans will be actually done, so that we are able to provide a more sustainable sewer management system to the community. So our people are currently on the ground and works are being done as we speak right now. So on that note, we would like to appeal to the public that you are guaranteed that as you invest into this project, you never have issues to do with sanitation in terms of the sewer system that will be there, because it will be more sustainable, and experts are the ones that are behind the installation of these biodigesters, because we understand that we need to have a sewer system that will be able to live for a test of time. And also what is being done with respect to sustainability is that the water reticulation system is being implemented as we speak right now. Water lines have been done. We are yet to actually do now the implementation of the pipes. Like we have always said that we are not allowing individual boreholes to be done, because we understand that if we do allow people to drill their own boreholes, One would have been contaminating the groundwater. Secondly, would actually put the entire community in danger in the near future, because we understand that as we speak right now, there are housing complexes that we know to say they have compromised in terms of the water reticulation system. And we anticipate that in the near future, people that have bought into those projects, they will have difficulties in terms of accessing clean and safe water. So we understand that we really need to put up a well-structured water reticulation system that will be able to provide clean and safe water to the entire complex. So as we speak, this system has already been started, and the implementation process is being done at the moment. And also, like I'm just trying to explain on the aspect of sustainability, the tree planting exercise have been structured, and periodically we are trying to plant different trees so that at least we can preserve that environment profile that is supposed to be always within that locality.
Okay. Now, we've seen housing projects coming in different parts of Lusaka and other places in Zambia. How different is the Horizon Green Village housing project?
Okay, so like I was trying to explain, what is really setting the Horizon Green Village apart from other housing developments is that it is anchored on these three pillars, which is sustainability, modernity, and affordability. So you think of it, Nono, that we're developing a complex that will be modern yet affordable at the same time. So it is different because we are not just looking at one class of people. We are looking at Zambian people to afford housing in this complex. So it is very different. Secondly, it is a project which is well planned, and everything has been taken care of. Talk of amenities, because we understand that we're developing this project with the needs of families in mind. So we have actually catered for all the amenities that are a prerequisite to the well-being of human beings. So we are talking about amenities such as hospitals, mall, sports complex, schools, or other amenities that would provide a service or goods to the well-being of people have been planned for, and we will make sure that these are actually realized. And the other point that I would like to mention is that it is different because it is being spearheaded by Horizon Properties. Horizon Properties is the best real estate company as we speak right now. We have the experience. We know where value is. So whenever we're investing in a particular location, people should actually have a guarantee that they'll have a huge return if they're to invest in that particular location. So we're able to read them so that they can be able to safeguard their investment. They are able to actually make more money and be able to change their lives. So Horizon Properties is there to make sure that we are able to provide the best to the Zambian populace.
Okay, now real quickly, how is the pricing structure on the plots in the Horizon Green Village housing development?
Okay, so currently we have two sizes of plots. We have 18 by 25 plots, which are currently going at 75,000 kwacha. We also have a 24 by 25 plots. These are 600 square meters that are going for 100,000 kwacha. And then the modes of payments, we have, you can either pay cash, where Horizon Properties tends to give you a discount, and if you cannot manage to pay cash, we have a payment plan where you can pay in installments.
All right. Thank you so much, Derek. Lutanda, I know we've had a lot of information that we've brought out on the program this evening. Someone may have been listening and may be interested to find out where can they find you, how can they contact you?
Well, like I always say, we're strategically located here in Lusaka. We have our head offices and also our construction division in Woodlands. This is along Chindo Road, right opposite Woodlands A Primary School. And then we also have our other office in Kablonga along Chindo Road on shop number 8 Chindo Road on Old Shopping Complex. And then we also have our town office, which is on the alley behind Lusaka Hotel. We can also be contacted on the numbers 0211 260422. That's 0211 260422. That's for our Kablonga office. And for our town office, the number to contact is 0211 226902. The number to contact is 0211 226902. That's for our town office. And of course, for all the properties that have been mentioned here, we have a page on which people can see the properties that have been mentioned here. Not, of course, limiting. The portfolio is huge, and the page that people need to view or rather go see is Horizon Properties Limited. And for everything that's mentioned concerning Green Village, so they can also see the progress and have a pictorial view of everything that's happened on the ground. They have to visit Horizon Green Village project. That's the page that we have for the Green Village.
All right. Derek, as we wrap up the program, what are your closing remarks and what should people look out for?
Okay, so my closing remarks, Nono, is that Horizon Properties has a huge portfolio of products, like my colleague has mentioned, ranging from plots, houses, incomplete houses, farmlands, and our famous, prestigious the Green Village. So I would like to appeal to our listeners that please take time to like our pages, our Facebook pages, follow them, and so that you can be able to be updated of any products that we post there. There are more products that we haven't even just mentioned during this program, but they are on our Facebook platforms, because we are never short of products, regardless of the location that you'd mention. We have always provided the best. So please make appointments with our agents and our sales executives at any time, any day. We are ready to take you to whatever product that you would have noticed from our Facebook platforms.
All right. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for coming through. It's always a pleasure to have you from Horizon Properties.
It's always a pleasure being here, Mr. Zaza. Thank you very much.
All right. There you have it. That's it for today's episode of Property Focus. Be sure to catch us next week on Tuesday, just after 18:30, right here on Hot FM. Do stay tuned.